Hi, so today I just found myself with a spare 20 minutes and meeting finished early, which is always nice when that happens. I'm just going to celebrate that. It's always nice when you find yourself with a bit of time. It's very busy at the moment going into Q4. We always find it's a pretty hectic time of year. What came into my mind was really about the importance of celebrating our own achievements and the achievements of others. It's so important that we kind of train ourselves to recognize when things are going well and to acknowledge them. We've had a really busy week at work, a lot of events, a lot of the work that we've done over the year, trying to make our systems and processes and, lead gen follow-ups and just everything better is sort of really coming to fruition now. And, it's so important. We've had some shortlists and awards due and just lots of really, really great stuff, and made me think about, wow, it's really important to acknowledge and celebrate, and also to do that for ourselves, and that can be quite awkward for a lot of us. We don't want to be showing off or boasting, especially in the UK. We can tend to be a little bit, self-deprecating and hide ourselves. But there are ways of doing it, and we can do a kind of like, oh, I'm really excited to, share that this went well, or, and call things out. It's so important because it's so easy to focus on the things that didn't go well. And, let's face it, stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong at work. We try things, if we're really ambitious and driven, we're going to be pushing ourselves to do things that perhaps we don't 100% know how to do. And so it's really important to celebrate the successes, because things do go wrong. And, a lot of companies have companies focused on growth do try and have a kind of attitude of failing fast. Let's try, we know where we're trying to get to, let's try this. If it fails, let's learn from it. And then let's course correct and get going. And that's it's brilliant when you can get into that mindset, and you have a team around you that enables you to do that. But it's also quite a big shift to get there, to be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. It could go wrong. But, then you learn, and you've got to have the right support network around you to be able to do that. But it's a really fast way to growth, personal growth, company growth, all the rest of it. So celebrating is really, really important. But so also is acknowledging when, we don't get things wrong. And this actually really came up for me this week in my personal life more than anything. I've been reflecting on a past relationship, and actually where I, did something that, I found it hard to kind of admit to, that contributed to the relationship breaking down. And actually when I was able to acknowledge it, and just go, oh yeah, I did do that, and it contributed to the relationship breaking down. And then when I faced it and sat with it, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I'd been avoiding it for so long because I was feeling so sort of guilty about it and beating myself up about it. And actually, when I kind of, sat with it, brought it into my meditations, the relief of acknowledging it and actually being able to talk to my ex about it and going, look, I see that I did that, was so freeing, that now I can kind of move on from that and just let it go. And it's very much the same in the workplace. We do need to acknowledge when things have gone wrong. And if we're in a situation where we're really trying to progress and we're really ambitious and we're wanting to move forward, we have to put ourselves in these situations where we're a bit uncomfortable at times. And my boss always says, I want you and your team to be out of your comfort zone 25% of the time. We've gone through so much change in the last year that I'm probably out of my comfort zone around 30-40% of the time, maybe more. But I've actually come to really accept that as part of the way we work, because we're on such a fast growth journey. We're on such a fast transformation journey, We're going from a very traditional kind of marketing team that did some lead gen, some events, to really being customer first and data driven and having to get all the tech and data in place, so I'm having to bring in new skill sets into the team and get really into the data and the tech, and it's moving at quite a pace, so I'm having to really learn as I go as well. But it's really going well, and I've learned that, okay, I don't have to be perfect all the time. In fact, I don't have to be perfect most of the time, half of the time, but I need to be driving this growth mindset and admit when I don't know something, keep an eye on things. When they go wrong, flag them, try and catch them before they go too disastrously wrong, and just kind of getting into that thing, into that sort of, it's a different way of working, I think. And it's great, it's exciting, it's also quite scary. And I think that where I was trying to get to was really, it's okay to mess things up. It's kind of how you recover from them, and acknowledging them, that's okay. That makes the difference. That's the thing that kind of shows a company or an ex or a friend or a partner, it went wrong, but they've acknowledged it, they've owned it. And if you own it and acknowledge it, then you can move on from it. If you don't, then it's very hard to move on from a mistake. So that's one thing. But the other thing is, don't be too hard on yourself. If you mess something up, it doesn't mean you're not good at your job. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or anything like that. It just means you made a mistake. So get it into context. And then when you fix it, write it, acknowledge it, whatever it is, really celebrate that. So it's getting into that kind of mindset of going, I'm human. I'm not going to be perfect all the time. But, I know where I need to get to, and to try and get to there, whether it's on a personal growth journey or, career journey or whatever it is, you've got to keep the end in sight. Have a plan. The plan is not always going to go to plan. Things are going to go wrong. You're going to have to do things and be flexible that you might not want to do, that make you resist a little bit. And you kind of got to, keep going. Strategically, don't just be too sledgehammer about everything. Try and be slightly considered, but sometimes we do just need to go for it. And celebrate the wins, and acknowledge when we mess something up. It's perfectly natural to do that. That was really on my mind this week, and I just thought it was a important sort of insight to share, because I think when we're trying to change things, grow, develop, things do happen, and we're scrutinizing ourselves, we're looking inwards, and the more aware and conscious we are, we have to be conscious of the difficult stuff, the stuff that, oh God, that went wrong. And but also, we need to counteract that with the wins. That's kind of how we retrain our brains and rewire our systems a bit. So it's a different way of doing things, but you really do want to, you need to get a balance of both and get into the habit of doing those things. So anyway, it was just a quick thought I had on a Friday morning at the end of the week while I had a spare few minutes. It's some stuff that's been on my mind, and I just wanted to share that. So happy Friday everyone, and have a good weekend.